here tonight. If you haven't been by 3rd and Walnut Street, you might want to go by and see the bracing coming off the mason jar building. Something many people have been waiting a very long time for. And I want to thank Chase Hoffman, the building owner, for going forward with this project, and city staff. I know they've worked hard on this project for 3 years now. So I want to thank the council too for supporting this project, because I think in the end it will be an asset for downtown Winona. And all's well that ends well. So that's all I have. City manager.
I know two things, Your Honor. First, there are a couple of folks who helped. They noticed there was an illicit discharge into West Lake. Sherry Rothering noticed something odd, as she described it, coming out of the storm sewer on Harriet Street, and called the county and fire department, and we were able to mobilize and catch most of the contaminants before they widely dispersed into the lake. They also contacted Eric Nelson, who's a Healthy Lake Winona volunteer, and got in touch with John Howard. And those efforts, those prompt efforts from both of them really helped us to contain that before it became a really big issue. So we really want to appreciate the work from Sherry and Eric. And city received a Clean Energy Community Award. This thing I think is made out of uranium because it's really heavy.
Wow. Wow.
It's kryptonite.
Don't let that fall on you. I'd pass it around, but we'd be here for a while. Build up your. City and County of Winona is one of 4 Minnesota communities that was honored with the Clean Energy Community Achievement Award last week. John Howard and I think some other folks in the county were there to receive the award. They're issued every 2 years to recognize significant achievements in helping Minnesota reach its clean energy goal. The notable achievement was a work with the HRA housing and low-income homes. Over 200 low-income energy squad visits were performed in 2017. About 1 in 5 of the ones that excelled were here in Winona. In total, these visits saved nearly 150,000 kilowatts of electricity and 15,000 therms of gas, nearly $25,000 in savings for low-income residential utility bills. And it will also continue to save that in the years to come. So appreciation for this project as well.
Congratulations to all those involved. Roll call.
Mayor Peterson.
Here.
Councilman Thurley.
Here.
Craig.
Here.
Alexander. Here. Iden. Here. Borzakowski.
Here.
Schulmeyer.
Here.
Under the required public hearings, item 2.1 is the St. Mary's Cemetery rezoning from R1 to RS.
All right, I'll declare the public hearing open.
Evening, Mayor and Council. This agenda item, the rezoning request from St. Mary's Cemetery, is for a portion of land adjacent to the intersection of Homer Road and County Highway 17. The cemetery recently acquired this property for a crypt relocation project, which was approved last year. The requested rezoning is for this recently acquired property, currently zoned R1, to be rezoned to RS in order to match the zoning for the remainder of the cemetery, generally to the north and to the west of the site. On March 12th of 2018, the Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the rezoning for these properties, and in consideration of the request tonight, Council may approve, deny, modify, or table the item if there's additional questions. Thank you.
Anybody here wish to speak to this issue? Anybody here wish to speak? Last chance. Declare the public hearing closed.
I make a motion to introduce the attached ordinance for adoption and accept the 2 attachments of the ordinance to rezone in the Planning Commission staff report.
Second.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Paul. Further discussion? Paul?
There, that area is
pretty thick with Oriental bittersweet. And so in the process of clearing, what's happening with the OBS.
The cemetery director is actually here and could probably speak to the work that has been done related to Oriental Bittersweet on these properties. On the adjacent property to the south and to the west, that project has been completed. That was being undertaken with the DNR and the property owner. That project is complete, and this portion of land is just adjacent to that. Once this project is complete, it will be replanted with native trees and native prairie grasses to eventually replace the vegetation in the area.
So it's gonna be cleared, it's gonna be cleared first.
Kurt Harris from St. Mary's Cemetery could probably speak to that a little bit.
What we did when we acquired that land, we went in there and we clear cutted it, so most of that bittersweet was taken out. There's still some as you go up to the hill, but it's more manageable now. So the springs will get in there. I think in the fall is the best time to attack it. But, and then even behind the cemetery, into our main property, we cleared all that out up there too. But it was pretty thick back there. The complete walls.
Oh, yeah.
Well, since when I first got here, you didn't see that much, but last year, yeah, it really took over, so, yeah. So we got most of that out of
Good luck with it.
there. All right, thanks.
George?
Mr. Harris, just one more question. Now, where the old crypts are going to be removed, what's the plan for that area then?
Then the agreement with the city was, they gave us the permission to build a new crypt, and then where we take the old one, we'll put that back to natural habitat.
Okay.
Native grasses,
How many do you have to move?
8.
8, okay. Thank you.
Any other comments? I really like all the good work that's going on out there at St. Mary's Cemetery. You've made some really good improvements out there. I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Under the petitions, requests, and communications section, item 3.1 is a request from Winona Main Street for the Touch a Truck and Play Streets event to be held on Saturday, May 12th.
I make
And Emily is here if you have questions.
make a motion to approve this request.
Second.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by George. Emily, why don't you just say a couple things about it?
Yeah, this is the 5th annual Touch a Truck this year. We again are collaborating with Live Well Winona for the Play Streets event, and we're excited to use more of the streets to get people walking and in and around businesses more, and really kind of be a beginning push of our engaging people in some walking activities a little bit more downtown this summer.
Michelle?
I was just going to tell you how much I appreciated that you moved it onto the streets. When you get all those cars cleared out, it's amazing how wide it is across. And I know that the businesses appreciate the events taking place in front of their door front so they can participate by coming outside. And I like that you're only using 2 city lots, which means there's a lot more parking downtown for this event, especially since the trucks use so little of the parking lot when we set up. So I'm really looking forward to the 5th year.
Great,
I know
thank
it's a
you.
favorite of the little people.
It's fun.
Oh, well, and some of the big people.
And we're adding a quiet hour that's only 30 minutes. We've had a lot of requests in the past from people who have auditory concerns, either kids who have a sensitivity or even just adults who don't really want to hear all the horns all the time. So the first half hour of the event is going to be a quiet time for kids who struggle with that.
Well, it's fun for kids of all ages, I just
Oh
might
yeah,
add. 'cause it is
anyone
fun.
can check out all of the trucks.
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Item 3.2 is the additional request for the Hope Harbor Donut Run to be held on June 2nd.
Make a motion to approve that request.
Second that.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Pam. Any discussion?
I just like the comment in the item here that the runners will get a donut at the end of the line, so, good job.
Our type of race, huh?
I'm
And
assuming,
it's not a very long run either, I noticed.
I know, I can do that, I think,
assuming Blados.
yeah.
Are there any other kind of donuts?
Nothing worth talking about.
That's right.
Mayor,
Yes?
is there anybody here from that run organized? Just wonder how much it costs to get in.
Have to donate a donut.
All right, we're on.
All right, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.3 is amended license agreement for Midwest Music Fest to allow them access to water.
And make a motion to approve that license
Second.
agreement.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Jerry. Discussion?
Just a
Al?
couple of questions. I assume that this will have a backflow preventer and a billing meter attached to it, as we've done in the past for things like that.
Correct.
Okay, anything else? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.3 is a request for 5K and 10K by Bluffview Montessori to be held on Saturday, May 5th.
Make a motion to approve that request.
Second.
Motion by Michelle and seconded by George. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.5 is a request from the Winona Senior High for reserve parking on Broadway in front of the Wesley United Methodist Church on Friday, April 27th.
Move to approve that request.
Second.
Motion by Michelle and seconded by Paul. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.6 is a sign request from the Winona County ASAP Group for a sign at Lake Park.
Move to approve the request.
Motion by George and seconded by Jerry. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 3.7 is a request for utility bill reduction for the property at 357 Knop Valley Drive. Is Mr. Berry present?
Okay, would you want to come to the podium, state your name and address?
Hello, thank you. My name is M.M. Barry. I live in 357 Knop Valley Drive. I purchased the home last year, and this is my second water bill. First bill was partial. They found some problem in the toilet, water was leaking or something. So, and I requested for someone to come and visit, and they fixed the problem. So I was hoping, maybe reduce the bill or something reasonable.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Barry? George?
How long have you been in the home?
5 months.
5 months, okay,
This is the second water bill.
okay.
First was partial. So we also moved from apartment to house. So this is like the first time experience with the water bill. So we are not quite sure. Kind of we're getting used to the usage of the water and becoming more cautious and careful. So I'm not sure the whole thing was for the toilet being overflowing, but certainly we had some guests coming over. I had a baby last year, so I had my parents coming over from back home, so we had some more people in the house. So these are the two main reasons I think the water was triple use in the normal household.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a motion anybody wants to make? Al?
I'll make a motion to reduce the bill by $100.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Al and a second by George to reduce the bill by $100. Any discussion? Guess not. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-2.
And item 3.8 is a request for utility bill reduction for the property at 511 Dakota Street. Is Mr. Gibbons present?
That's a rental of mine, and got a call from the city water department that there was a leak there, and I went over immediately, and the float on the pipe was leaking, and talked to the tenants, and they says, yeah, it was only leaking a couple days. And then I got the bill $1,735 more than the quarter before that, so obviously it was leaking more than a few days. I've got it fixed, and I ordered the things from Verizon that you can put on the, so you can keep monitoring it, so this doesn't happen to me again. And I'm just asking if there's any way we can reduce that billing. I have in my lease that I charge back to tenants, you know, with the whole bridge, but that's a lot for the tenants to pay, and I'm just wondering if there's any help I can get on that bill.
Questions for Mr. Gibbons? Is there a motion anybody wants to make?
Just one question. Do you live close to this house?
I live in Dodge, but our office is in left siding. So
Okay.
I mean, once the water department called me, I was probably there within 10 minutes. And I fixed the float immediately. So, but like I say, they said 2 to 3 days. It had to be leaking a lot longer.
Yes, so.
Okay. Anybody wish to make a motion?
Mayor, I would so move. I don't know what the number is. It's a huge bill here from 120 to 1,800 to reduce the sewer tax portion of the bill. I don't know what that number is.
Typically, it's close to half, a little less than half.
Okay. But that would be my motion.
I'd second that.
Okay, we have a motion by George and a second by Pam. Further discussion? Jerry?
Just say the usual. I feel bad what happened, but I always vote against these. The stories are always different, and it does cause issues. But from a city, I just want to remain consistent. And tonight, we have two completely different stories, yet once again, we're doing this, so I'm going to vote against it. Nothing against you personally, sir, but it's just from a consistency standpoint on behalf of the city.
Well, I'm going to vote against it too. I voted for the last one, but to me, it's different with a rental property than it is a private residence. And for that reason, I feel sorry for you. But you have an opportunity to go back to the renters and try to recover some of it. And I think the motion would be giving back more than I would be willing to do. So,
Thank you.
anybody else wish to say anything? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Raise your hand if you're opposed. Motion fails.
Item 3.9 is a letter of support to retain the 3rd judicial seat in Winona County.
Make a motion to approve the attached letter and authorize the mayor to sign it.
Second that.
We have a motion by Michelle and seconds all over the place, but I'll give it to Pam, I think. This is really important. I attended the meeting they had a week or so ago to talk about this, and I think there's just a whole lot of good reasons why we should retain this 3rd judicial seat here in Winona County. And I did write a letter myself in support of keeping the 3rd seat, but I think it'd be great for the council to go on record as a group as well. So, anybody else? Al?
Just kind of, I wasn't at the meeting, but was it ever explained to why they just simply can't appoint another judge to serve the Olmsted County area and retain the judges that are currently here in Winona County?
I don't remember that question being asked. I had to leave early, so
Yeah.
whether it came up later, I don't know. But
I'm not, I mean, I support the motion, you know, but
part of this is based on projections of population and
Right.
it's
and judges
not,
are
it's not
elected, I
based in
understand
reality
that,
of
yeah.
the caseload right now. So
Right.
it
And,
seems
there's an election
premature
process
to
too.
be moving the judgeship
Yeah.
based on the numbers
I
right
agree.
now. So,
I agree.
all right. Guess we're ready to vote. All those in favor, say aye. Oh, George, I'm sorry.
No, I am in support of that as well, too. I don't think the time is now to reduce any judges. I can only see more judges coming into further office from here on in, so I would totally support that letter.
Okay. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Under new business, item 5.1 is the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development cleanup grant funds for 5th and Main Street block.
Make a motion to approve the attached resolution and
Second.
accept the attachment.
Second.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Al. Discussion? none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Item 5.2 is the 2018 State Aid Street Reconstruction Project, Hamilton from Broadway to Howard Streets.
Make a motion to approve the attached resolution.
Second?
Motion by Michelle, seconded by George. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.3 is the 2018 Hamilton Street Reconstruction Project, feasibility report and resolution ordering hearing on Monday, April 16th.
Move to approve the attached resolution.
Second.
Motion by George, seconded by Michelle. Any discussion? All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm moving too fast there, I didn't see you.
I just want to make sure that when we talked about this last time, we agreed that we would be including something for all the homeowners to understand that the assessments do not have to be paid in full at the moment of completion, because I think there was some confusion, so I just want to make sure we were still going to do that so that they would understand it could be paid over whatever the number of years is.
Yes.
Thanks.
Ready to vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Item 5.4 is the award of the well maintenance project to Keys Well Drilling Company for the base quote of $88,155.
Make a motion to approve the attached resolution.
Second?
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Al. Keith?
Would just like to add to the resolution that the city clerk and mayor are authorized to execute an agreement.
Okay. George?
Keith, what is the status of our wells in general? I know there's a program where you do like, what, one every 10 years, whatever?
Yep, the higher wells, we do more frequent up in Windcrest, and then the lower ones down in Bone. They're all in good shape. Typically, when we go in and tear them out, we pull the whole thing out, there's things in there that have deteriorated and need to be replaced. You know, the pumps are running all the time. We look at the wells, we have the pipes, actually check those out as well. Go through the whole thing, and you know that's why it's expensive. Is we're maintaining them well because we have to.
How deep do we have to go down on Windcrest?
Windcrest is down about 1,100 feet, maybe a little bit less than that.
And what's our wells at the levee?
It's the same aquifer, so they're down around 6, down
Okay.
500 plus.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just curious about how old this particular pump is in this well.
It would be on the frequency we put on there. It would be probably 8 years.
Oh, so that's not that old a pump?
No, it would be, this is a pump that's down in the hole, so, but it would be redone 8 years ago, so we'll pull it up and go through it all.
No, I was just wondering if a more efficient pump would be more, if it's time to replace the pump, if that would be more cost effective.
This would be the time to do it if it's determined, yes.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.5 is the final plat for the Dornfeld edition.
Make a motion to approve the attached resolution and to accept both the resolution and the planning commission staff report.
I'll second that.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by George. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Item 5.6 is the final plat for the Pinecrest first edition.
Make a motion to approve the attached resolution and to also accept the planning commission staff report.
I will second that as well.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by George. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Item 5.7 is the Prairie Island Campground camp store agreement with Front Porch Management.
And make a motion to direct the city manager and clerk to execute that agreement.
Second that.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Pam. Discussion? Paul?
So I noticed that this is a 3-year contract. Is that the same? I thought the campground contract was 2 years.
Chad?
Mayor and council, this camp store agreement is the same terms as the
Okay.
operation and maintenance. I think it's a 1 year with the option to renew 2 years. Total of 3, so they match.
All right.
Anything else? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Item 5.8 is the Tivity Health Services contract with the Winona Friendship Center.
And make a motion to approve the attached resolution.
Second?
Motion by Michelle, seconded by George. Discussion? Al?
Yeah, I was just curious about how this would be kept track of, and if there would be any additional expense on the city's behalf necessary to do that.
Mayor and Council, for the past 3 years, we have been dealing with a health plan, AshLink, and it's the Silver and Fit program. Tivity Health Silver Sneakers. We have wanted to get this contract, however, they only give out so many in a community, and because there were a few, we were way down on the list waiting. It has opened up, we're able to get it. There is no expense on our part. In fact, our membership for the Wellness Center is $76 a year. And what we are seeing is if a person is coming 8 times, we're getting $30 per month per person that comes. So with Silver and Fit, as an example, in 2015, we recouped $1,047 our first year. In 2016, that increased to $2,550. 2017, we were at $4,113. Already in the first 2 months, I can see that it's nearly tripled last year's months. To add a complimentary silver sneaker, that Silver and Fit is Blue Cross, and silver sneaker would be more like the Humana. So it's going to be quite comparable, and there is, we're actually making more money.
Okay,
Okay,
so win.
it is a great one, and I'm very excited to be able to finally get silver sneaker.
Pam?
So it's not a matter that you're trading one for the other.
We're adding.
Keep both.
We're adding, and it is possible to do both. Both companies allow the others to, we're able to take both.
Okay. Anything else? We'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.9 is the LCCMR Grant application. I would note there was one typo on the resolution. The title of the commission is the Legislative Citizens Commission on Minnesota Resources. So we will correct that typo.
I make a motion to adopt the attached resolution.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Paul. Discussion?
Just a question, this is the area that's near the Kiwanis shelter and the spillway, is that right? I'm assuming?
I believe so. We'll let Ross confirm that.
Okay,
Mayor and Council, that is the area
Okay.
at Prairie Island. It's the boat launch itself at a Kiwanis shelter, and then that adjacent parking area where snow overflowed for the winter.
okay, all right, thank you.
It'd be a great grant to get.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries.
Item 5.10 is the Friendship Center Facility Study and Plan.
Make a motion to direct staff to execute the proposal from ISG for the $10,000.
Second that.
Sorry.
Motion by Michelle, seconded by Pam. Chad, you want to add something here?
Mayor and Council, I just want to reiterate from our last discussion that if you look at the last page from ISG, they outline obviously the compensation plan, the services that they are going to provide. I would say they're not in order of how they're going to conduct the study, just so that's an important note to make. So when the first item is existing condition assessment, that would assume that we've already suggested that we have a location in mind. That's not the case. We'll do the community visioning and do some of that work and get that input. So just to reiterate for the public and for council's knowledge that we certainly have not landed on a site, but that once we get that input from the community
that we will then have to, go move forward with that existing condition assessment. Okay.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
And item 7.1 is council concerns.
Now we'll start with Michelle.
I'm concernless tonight.
No concerns. Jerry, do you have concerns?
Pass.
Al?
Other than wishing folks a happy Passover through April 7th, Easter Sunday yesterday, and don't forget there's some weather that's in the forecast, so drive cautiously, carefully if that does materialize. And,
Not here in Winona,
safe.
according to Pam.
No,
All right, well,
no concern, I have no concern.
that's that river next to us that does that. That's all I have there, thank you.
Do you have any concerns?
Well, I have no concerns, but
Okay.
I would just like everyone to remember that in a week and several days, April 21st will be Earth Day. And the city of Winona is opening the East End Rec Center to a lot of different activities and vendors from 10 until 2. So come on down and check it out. We have all kinds of things going on down there, including a display from Healthy Lake Winona regarding the health of our dear Lake Winona. So come on down.
Okay, Paul?
I just want to remind everybody about the dementia-friendly events that are happening at around town this week. And I also want to congratulate John. I think John left, John Howard, and all the people who worked hard to get that chunk of glass for their clean energy work.
Okay, George?
Thank you. Steve, if you could just notify the HRA of that award. I don't think that they know it yet, or maybe they do, no one has said nothing, but that they were part of receiving, their projects are part of receiving this award, so if you just notify them.
Will do.
So. And also, I had, it's fishing season on Lake Winona again, and the Hamilton Street Landing, the Franklin Street Landing, and the Dakota Boat Landing, if some work could be there, they're saying that the landings are not deep enough. Their boats have to go quite a way in the water till they even get sometimes water in the back of the truck bed. And the one at Dakota Street, they talked about a lot of rocks there. So we just get that looked at to make it a lot easier for people to launch their boats. And also on a sad note, I'd just like to express my condolences to the Richard Cada family. Rich, who passed away last week, longtime Fourth Ward resident, longtime Peerless Chain employee, and a very, very proud person to say that he served his country in the military. To his wife and to his children and grandchildren, the passing on a very nice and faithful man. Thank you.
And under the consent agenda, there are 5 items. Approval of the minutes from March 19th, the final adoption of an ordinance to vacate an alley on Block 1, Slacks Edition, the adoption of an ordinance to rezone 818 Mankato Avenue, an ordinance to establish handicap parking on Minnesota Street, and 1 claim against the city by Kenneth Solentini.
Move to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Motion by Al, seconded by Michelle. Any discussion, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mayor,
Carries.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.